Hey guys, welcome to the good space with your girl Leo. I feel like it's been a while since I've done a sit down solo episode where I just spoke to you about something that's been on my mind. So I thought, why not do one today? So there's a lot on my mind, so maybe I won't cover everything, but I don't know if you guys remember, but I want to say 3, 4 years ago, I made a post on Twitter about the effects of contraception on my mental health. And I've always wanted to do an episode about this. And obviously, I've spoken to my friends on numerous occasions about their experience with contraception, how it affected them, like their views on it, and why. And a lot of the conversations were not for radio. And what I mean by that is they were really personal, and we got quite deep. And it just wouldn't be right to do a conversational piece around it because truly, like, it's one of those topics where people deserve, privacy. And obviously if they're happy to talk about it, that's one thing, but a lot of the people who had similar experiences to me or worse experience than me didn't feel it's something they would talk about on camera, which is fine. But I did feel like it was important to have a conversation around how contraception can affect your mental health. And um I do think there can be more education around the impact it can have on you. And I know we have the pamphlets in the GPs or the sexual health clinics, but I do think more can be done to educate. And I do think, obviously, when comfortable and when it feels right for you, people sharing their stories can be helpful. So I'm that's what this platform is for. Candid, honest conversations that can help people. So yeah, I thought it'd be good to do that. So I'm one of those people. I've never tried the pill. um I think, like, the discussion I was just saying, like, that needs to be had. I feel like it's always been on the pill. Like, a lot of people who aren't on contraception, it's been like, oh yeah, I've heard this about the pill. When you feel like you're just not getting enough moistness on your lips, I'm so sorry. It's been about, like, oh yeah, the pill, I've heard all these things about the pill, so I would not go on the pill. And I feel like there's other forms of contraception that should be getting that same rep. um Obviously, as you guys always know, it's all about, like, opinion, what works for you. So this video is not to say contraception is 100% terrible, don't go on it. It's just to speak about my experiences and, like, touch briefly on other people's experiences. But yeah, um I just feel like I just never wanted to go on the pill. I was like, yeah, I've just heard so many things about what it can do to your moods. But I don't think I realized, or I was educated enough on the fact that the others do the same thing as well. Um, I was on the injection for a very long time, and I feel like with the injection, because there was no pain. And what I mean by that is the process wasn't painful and I wasn't in any pain for it. My periods actually completely stopped. Which at a certain age is nice. I was like, you know what? I'm so happy that I don't have a week out of the month where, I'm in pain, or like obviously you guys know what happens. So I didn't have to endure that for a week out of a month. And I enjoyed that. So they stopped completely. But what I didn't realize, it took my period, but it also took away, like, this is going to sound dramatic, but my happiness. Like, it literally did. My, it took away a lot. It took away parts of my personality. And I think it happened over time, so I did not realize. It's not like, if you take something that's bad for you, you have alcohol, and the effects are almost instant. I behaved like this because I was drunk. It's not like that. It's like, you you're on it, you feel fine, and then after a period of time, things start to happen or things stop happening. You stop behaving in ways that you would before and you start behaving in new ways. Your moods are changing. And maybe if you're someone who's like suffered with some form of depression before, you just think, oh, it's happening again. You're not realizing that it's more severe, more intense. It's constant now. It's not like, oh, okay, I've had a down day, but I know what to do. It's these down days are consistent. I'm consistently down. And you're not sure why, you can't pinpoint it. Um so because it happens in that way, I think it's harder for you to realize that actually, no, okay, I'm on contraception, my mood has changed. Maybe I should try it, change it. And I feel like that's what they try to advise you to do. Like, oh, maybe it's that, maybe you need to try a different pill. But it's not always that simple. I don't know. As I said, I wasn't on the pill, so I'm not sure if the pill, it's like straight away, you're like, no, the pills make me feel like this. Hence why there's more conversation around it. But with the injection, it was a slow creeper that like slowly snuffed the light out of me. Um, and it took me a while of being on it to realize this is making me feel away. Um, there was a time between, so like I was on the injection, I had a bit of an incident, and I was on the coil. That is one that I've had a conversation with many people about. There, I even joined, and I don't use Facebook, but I remember when I removed my coil, I joined a Facebook group, and it was like, I can't remember the name of it, but it was essentially like just consistent posts, like daily posts from. It was a community of women who have had experiences with the coil. They've had this thing called copper poisoning, and the post, like, I felt so seen because I thought like there's no way I've put this thing in my body and like how I'm feeling is related to these things. Like I gaslit myself, like it's not possible. But reading that page, I was like, oh my gosh, everything I thought was happening was indeed happening. Like it was because of this piece of plastic, metal, whatever. Take you back. So I got the copper coil inserted in 2018. Um, yeah, 2018. I remember the day vividly because it was a male doctor, not who inserted it, but who prescribed it. And he was like, it's painless. No, I lied. He said he said it doesn't hurt, it's uncomfortable. Funny that, how would you know, sir? You are a man, but whatever. I was like, okay. My stomach was burning, like I was so scared. But at the time, it was the right form of contraception for me. Um, so he was like, yeah, it will it won't hurt. Just feels uncomfortable, like what they say when you're going for a smear. I had not had a smear by then. This guys, by the way, get your smears done. My second one is due, and I need to book that. So something's telling me to tell you that, and that is genuinely It's a bit like, oh, why are you there? Why are you inside there? It doesn't hurt. However, the coil that hurt. That hurt. That was excruciating pain. From then, I should have known this is not right for me. Implanted, and I was in pain. But I was like, okay, this is pain that will obviously subside. You know, like if you have any sort of like invasive procedure, it will come with some pain and eventually you heal. So that's what I was thinking. I was in pain, but it was like a really bad period pain, and obviously used to that. I remember I went to go get my lashes done after. So I was like lying there on the like thing. And I think I slept, but I slept because I didn't want to deal with what was going on there, whatever. So that was done. And then what was happening is I was still having my periods. I would have like, so week 1, I would be fine. Week 2, pain. Week 3, period. Week 4, period, and a bit of pain. Like I was never okay. There was like that week, and I wouldn't even say it was full week, like 3-4 days where there's no pain, no bleeding. But apart from that, it would be consistent, like pain or bleeding or both. And um this went on for a while because although it's only 3 days, I don't know. It's so weird. It's like in those 3 days, you feel so fine. You're like, okay, it's sorting itself out. But then it happened again, and it would happen again. And it would happen again. So that was like the pain, the physical effect of having the coil inputted. I was in pain a lot of the time. I remember it like it would there would not be a day where I would not be telling my mum, oh my stomach hurts, or telling my partner like something, and he was just like, no, this is weird. Like this is weird. Like what you're always in pain. Um, but whatever. There was like I was off work for a bit. I remember telling my colleague at the time, and she was like, oh, I have a coil. But it happens to me when I eat certain foods and I'm bloated. I was like, okay, maybe it's what I'm eating. So like trying to switch that up, whatever. Gosh, it was pain a lot of the time. So apart from the physical, there was also like a huge mental effect. So I was low. I was low. I was extremely down a lot of the time. I think I want to say, do you know what? I've only realized now that I'm talking to you guys that my therapy journey started not long after that. I won't say it's because of that, because I would have started to do so. This was just after graduating, so I would have started my therapy journey anyway, because as I've said 1,000 times, uni sort of lit that for me, like, okay, it's time to start because there's something wrong. But I think it might have, pushed the timeline, because I was like, oh my God, I'm so like, this is not right. This is scary. I had suicidal thoughts. It was dark. It was a really dark time. I'm also, as I'm speaking, realizing there's other factors. Obviously, I had stopped indulging in certain habits that I had been indulging in during my time in uni and way before that. And I think stopping that, realizing there's something wrong, and like all the shit coming up to the top that I had, pushed away from a lot for a long time, but it came out during uni, plus this um contraceptive thing, like all of it at once was way too much. But I really do think that the when I implanted the I feel like implanted sounds so weird, especially because a thing called implant. Let's try a different word. When the coil was inserted, ever since then, like the mental health got so much worse. Like, obviously, mental health, like everything, spectrum. I feel like I was already low because, as I said, of all those things, but it plummeted into the ground. Like, I had been low and I had been like contemplating, like, oh gosh, what is life? But I had never been to a point where I was like, no, what is life? I don't want to be here. And I got to that point. So yeah, the mental side was terrible, like struggling with sleeping, just it was so bad. So that plus consistent pain. Why why would I continue? I feel like I was on it for a year. And I know you're probably thinking, how the fuck did you do that for a year? But it's like I don't know. I don't know how I did it for a year. I don't know why I did it for a year. I probably should have taken it out sooner, but I think as well, I think I was scared of like the procedure of having it removed, because they said that didn't hurt, but they bloody said the other thing didn't hurt. So I was like, cool. Anyway, eventually had it removed, guys. Usually, so going back to the depot, the injection, when you take out when you stop using the injection, it can take up to a year for you to start your periods again. And it does, like, well, for me it did, sorry, but with the coil, when I removed it, guys, the pain in my straight away gone, gone, gone. The mental took a bit longer, I will say. It took a while, I think, but I definitely remember feeling like, do you know what, I feel better than yesterday, and now I feel better than yesterday, very slowly feeling changes, and like tackling, being able, and as I said, it wasn't the only thing, there was other things going on, but I felt more able to tackle those things because of this pain being gone and this, I guess, like hormonal imbalance as well. So yeah, I then did go back on the injection after that, and as I'm saying this, I'm really realizing how much like I felt like I had to be on contraception. Um, I no longer feel that way. And again, this is not like an ad for don't be on contraception. This is me sharing my experience after speaking to so many people and realizing they've had similar experiences. Some of those people don't get it twisted, are on different forms of contraception now. So again, make that clear. So they had a terrible experience with the coil, but they're on something else that is working better for them. I had a terrible experience with the coil, um, moved back to the injection. I had a better experience, but something still felt wrong. Mentally, like something still felt wrong. Like I would just have days where I would just be like, "Don't touch me!" Like I was just annoying. Like, I just it. I wasn't myself. And I eventually had to be like, okay, okay, you've got a choice to make, and my choice was to stop using contraception. And I will be completely honest, I feel so differently now. Like I have like my days obviously and I'm very vocal about that, but I there's a huge difference. I feel lighter. I don't feel like the whole weight of the world is on my shoulders and dark inside and have like these dark thoughts. So this is for anyone who is maybe on a form of contraception right now and has realized a change and they couldn't work out where it's coming from. This might be your idea to maybe switch or stop or whatever works best for you. But I think it's important to talk about the implications it can have being consistently on something that your body is not agreeing with. And if you are someone who's had a similar experience but have found the one that works for you, great. Feel free to share, but also think we should always be mindful that everybody's different. So as I'm sharing my story, if there are similarities, great. And if that can help you, great. But it's not I don't think it's a one size fits all situation. I do think it's about like maybe if you already have a chemical imbalance that causes you to feel a certain way, or you've been diagnosed with a certain disorder or mental health condition, it may not make sense for you to have a specific um be on a specific form of contraception, and I'm sure that would be disclosed to you. But just in case, if it's something that is bothering you, something doesn't feel right, and you're feeling, low, you feel you've changed, you're not the same, um, sorry, you feel you've changed, you're not the same, then yeah, I would advise looking into the contraception you are currently on. Yeah, guys, I just wanted to have a chat about that. I felt it was important, and it felt like it fit right here on the good space. So, let me know your thoughts. Like, share with me, guys. Like, are you on contraception at the moment? If you are, is it working well for you? Was it trial and error? Did you have to go through different forms before you found the one that was your perfect fit? Has your nurse given you little? I'm not gonna lie. Before I'm even gonna add, a nurse said to me, that it's cheap. The coil. That is why they're dishing it out. It's cheap. It's not like the injection where it has to be like redone and restocked. It lasts a long amount of time, and it's a piece of metal, piece of plastic, whatever she said. So like, have you been given any like insider tips, anything you can share with the good space community that could be helpful to women who are maybe going through something or deciding what form of contraception works best for them? Please do share in the comments and like, subscribe, share, comment, and yeah, let's get the conversation going. Thank you guys for listening. Bye.